private vehicles on safari. Do you need one? It's a question I encounter a lot. Something that there's a bit of confusion about on the internet. Private vehicle on safari, the standard used to be that when you went on a safari, maybe there's just the two of you or a family of four or something, you would be sharing your game drives with other people who are staying at your lodge or your camp, and it would just depend on who's there at the time. So, you know, maybe you're on your honeymoon and there's another couple on their honeymoon, and you share with them for the first 2 days. There's 4 of you on the truck, and then maybe they leave and you got the truck to yourself for the last 2 days or something like that. So it was kind of you know, a bit unpredictable in that regard. And sharing vehicles can be amazing. You might make your best friend for life. You meet some other folks who are very like-minded, and you have a wonderful time, and you see lots of cool animals, and you share similar interests, or maybe you find some new interests you didn't know you had, because this person really likes looking for classes cuckoos, and you just want to hang out with elephants, but you realize that maybe birds are kind of cool after all. So that's kind of how it used to be for a long time, and now private vehicles is becoming a thing. So nowadays at a lot of camps you can pay extra for a private vehicle as kind of an upgrade, and you're gonna be expecting to pay anywhere between $400 or $500 or more for a private vehicle per day for your stay. So let's say you go somewhere for 4 nights and you don't want to share. You're going to be paying $400 or $500 a day for the vehicle, and what that means is you have your own vehicle, so it's just you or you and your partner or your family, and your guide. So, and it's just you guys for your 4 days. This is cool for a lot of reasons. One is that you have total flexibility. So if you want to get up a little later and have your breakfast in camp, and go out at 7:30 rather than first thing in the morning, you know, 6 or 6:30, and you just want to toodle down the road and go to the river, have your breakfast under a tree and kind of take it easy, you can do that without worrying about you know, someone else who's on their last day and they're absolutely desperate to see a leopard and they want to go around half of the national park for an 8-hour drive looking for leopards, you know. So you've got that flexibility, and it just means that you're not running the risk of, maybe, as sometimes happens, if we're honest, I've had this myself many times as a guide, there might be some kind of clash with other people on the vehicle. As I said, maybe they really just want to see a lion and they're not interested in anything else. Maybe they haven't got as much stamina as you for staying out. Maybe they're just taking a little bit too long looking at a particular bird in a bush that no one else can see. So there's things like that. So private vehicles is something that we use a lot as standard on our privately guided safaris, and you'll also find that at some lodges and camps now, if you are a family of 4 or more, or you're a group of 6, you will be upgraded to a private vehicle anyway. And also a lot of camps that we work with now are working with private vehicles as standard, so they've added a little bit to the cost of the camp, but when you book there, regardless of who you are, you're on your group size, they only work with private vehicles. So effectively each room and each camp has a private vehicle. So that's something to bear in mind at different camps that you're looking at. And overall, it is something that I recommend. It's something that we do as standard, like I said, on our privately guided trips. If your family is super because obviously it's just you guys, and that's really what the experience is about, is sharing it with your family. You don't really want a couple of random folks on there. You still probably get the chance to meet other people. Sorry if you can hear the noise of the river there. You'll meet other people on your trip back in the camp, unless of course you're on a super mega privately guided safari and you've also got a privately booked, exclusively booked camp. But I'm getting a bit off topic now. So privately guided vehicle, great if you can swing it budget wise. It's not essential, it's just nice to have, and something you should ask about when you're booking your safari. Does it come as standard at this camp? Is it worth upgrading? Maybe you only want to do it at one particular camp, because there's things to bear in mind as well. If you book a private vehicle, it also extends to other parts of your safari. So if your camp has the opportunity to go on a boat, that means you'll be doing that privately. If you want to go walking, that means your walk is going to be private, and so on and so forth. So that's important to bear in mind. It's also really important, for example, if you are a person or a group who is very keen on one particular thing, so maybe it's a photographic group, you need a private vehicle. One, so that you can spend as long as you like at particular sightings, or waiting for a sighting, waiting for a particular shot that you really want to get. You're just not going to be able to do that if you have other guests on the truck, because the guide has to try and balance everybody out so that everybody gets what they want. So that is super important. It also means that your guide, who are really critical in all of this, can adapt the day specifically to you, and that makes a huge difference. So if you're a photographer, a photographic group, you might say, hey, listen, the last camp we had plenty of lions, but we really want to work on some elephant shots or some giraffes drinking water, or particular shots like that. Your guide can say, okay, cool, let's go out at this time, because I know this spot down on the river where we've got a good chance of finding maybe that particular thing. If you're sharing, like I said, you're going to get more of a generalist experience, because everybody needs to be balanced out. So often, if you talk to a lot of guides, if they have a private vehicle and they're working with a private group, it really allows them to excel and really show you what they can do, because they know that area better than anybody. And if you can tell them and say, listen, I'm not interested in this, we're really interested in this, we just want to take it easy, and we want to take the kids down to the river and dig in the sand, and just have a nice gin and tonic. We don't want to race around like maniacs all afternoon. You can really get the most out of your experience that way. So private vehicles, definitely worth doing if you can, and you need to investigate it when you're booking your safari.